where everything is a weapon. The grass, the water, the shadow that just moved in the corner of your eye. A world without steel, without medicine, without a single map. That world is the one our ancestors fought to survive in. They weren't just hunting for dinner. They were playing a lethal game of hide and seek with creatures that could crush a modern car with a single bite. But what if one of those threats wasn't a saber-toothed cat or a giant sloth? What if it was something older, something mutated, something that lived beneath the very ground they walked on? Tonight, we're stepping back 1,000,000 years to meet a man named Kale, and the terrifying horror that tried to make him extinct. Trust me, you have never seen a fight for survival like this. Welcome to the Pleistocene epoch. Forget the tidy history books for a moment. This is raw, terrifying existence. We are following a small band of Homo erectus, a tribe that has mastered fire and the hand axe, but whose entire existence hinges on a single brutal fact. If you stop evolving, you die. Our main focus is Kale. He's not a king, just a hunter. Lean, quick, and burdened by a new role. Protecting his younger brother Tor, who was still learning the lethal lessons of this ancient world. Their tribe has settled near a vast, parched savanna, a place of life, but also a place of great danger. The air is thick with the scent of dust and fear. They've learned to track the mighty Megaceros, the giant deer, how to avoid the deadly temper of the woolly rhino, and how to read the clouds for the distant, booming storms. Their biggest challenge, usually, is the lack of water during the dry season. But a new challenge has emerged. A strange, almost unnatural seismic activity. The ground occasionally trembles, not like an earthquake, but with a rhythmic, heavy thud, as if something gargantuan is moving deep below the earth. The animals are noticing it too. The grazing herds are agitated, and the predators are nervous. This isn't just a tough, dry season. This is the slow creep of a new, unknown threat. To understand the terror they face, you first have to grasp the sheer difficulty of their everyday life. Imagine Kale's morning. He rises before the sun, flint knife in hand. Shelter construction is a constant chore, a flimsy barrier of branches and mammoth hides against the night's cold and its terrors. He must gather wood for the central fire, their only true protection. The fire isn't just for warmth, it's a shield, a cooking tool, and a psychological anchor in a world of endless dark. Today's mission is crucial: to find a specific type of chert for new tools, a tough stone vital for spear points and cutting edges. This takes them further than usual, into the Shattered Lands, a region of deep, rocky canyons and unstable ground. Kale teaches Tor, every rock has a story. Every print is a memory. They move low, silent, one tracking the other, their minds 1,000,000 miles from ours, yet their fear is the same, the primal fear of being eaten. The simple tools they carry, a club, a spear with a fire-hardened tip, and their all-purpose hand axes are the pinnacle of their technology. It's technology born not of curiosity, but of absolute necessity. This is the baseline of human resilience. As they move, Cale notices something strange. A long, shallow trench scoring the earth, winding through the canyons like a massive, unnatural riverbed. It's too wide for any known creature. The tremors have intensified. This is where the reality of the prehistoric world twists into pure nightmare. The creature at the heart of our story, the giant mutant worm. We're theorizing here about what extreme conditions, perhaps volcanic heat, or a forgotten deep earth ecosystem, could breed such a beast. Think of it as an apex predator of the subterranean world, only now it's coming to the surface. Cale and Tor finally reach the chert deposits, a place that requires focus. But Cale can't shake the feeling of being watched. The ground is soft here, almost sandy, and the strange trenches are everywhere. He notices a large, pulsating mound of earth. He signals Tor to freeze. Suddenly, the tremors stop. A profound, unnatural silence falls. Then, the ground explodes. A massive, segmented head, easily the size of a small hut, bursts from the earth. Its skin is a slick, chitinous armor, and its mouth, a gaping, vertical maw lined with concentric rings of razor-sharp teeth. It's an invertebrate nightmare, a creature of immense power, driven by simple, unthinking hunger. It's hunting by vibration, and Cale's footsteps have just announced dinner. The creature's appearance is terrifying, and it perfectly captures the primal fear we all share. It's the kind of encounter that makes you think of other popular stories, maybe even a short film you might have seen, like the title 3 Million Years Ago. Caveman versus Giant Monster Worm, prehistoric cinematic short film. But this is a real-time, 35-minute struggle for existence. Cale isn't in a short film. He's in the fight of his life. That kind of comparison might seem fun, but remember, for Cale, this is no fantasy. This is a battle to keep the tiny flicker of humanity from being swallowed by the deep. Instinct takes over. Cale grabs Tor, shoving him toward the canyon wall. The worm's first strike misses, a terrifying slam that sends a spray of dirt and rock fragments flying. Cale knows running across the open sandy floor is suicide. The worm is blind, but acutely sensitive to movement. The strategy is to get onto the solid rocky canyon ledges where his vibrations are muffled. They scramble. The worm, in its subterranean fury, is now a living drill. It tunnels through the sandstone, appearing and disappearing in bursts of spray, forcing them higher and higher. This is the difference between Homo erectus and the beasts. Cunning. Cale isn't stronger, but he is smarter. He throws a rock far into the open field. The worm pivots, drawn by the impact. Cale uses the distraction, quickly knocking a sharp flint point into the end of a long, dry branch, a makeshift, stronger spear. He realizes two things. The worm is fast but not agile on the surface, and its armor, while thick, might have a soft spot where the segments connect. This is Cale's first scientific breakthrough, a hypothesis in the face of death. The worm is getting smarter too. It's now circling the canyon walls, trying to anticipate their path. Cale knows he can't outrun it forever, and they are too far from the tribe's fire. The fight must end here. He spots a massive, overhanging slab of rock, unstable, resting on a narrow, natural pillar. An idea forms, a desperate, brilliant plan that requires an impossible gamble. Cale tells Tor to climb to the highest, safest point and wait. He descends, moving deliberately, drawing the worm's attention. He begins to run, but not away. He runs toward the massive, unstable rock slab. The worm explodes from the ground directly in front of him. Cale spins, dodging the massive head by inches, and in a heart-stopping move, he plants his fire-hardened spear directly into a crack in the rock pillar supporting the slab. He then jumps back, giving the worm a clear shot. The creature slams its body against the earth to get Cale, and the enormous force, combined with the instability created by the spear wedged in the pillar, is too much. The pillar cracks. The massive rock slab teeters. Cale doesn't wait. He grabs a piece of chert he had kept, sharp as a razor, and as the worm momentarily slows, confused by the shifting ground, Cale rushes in, aiming for the soft underbelly of its massive head, just behind the grinding teeth. Cale strikes. The chert knife slides deep, finding an opening. A sickening, wet sound, and the worm rears back, letting out a shriek of pain, a sound that has never been heard in this valley before. The creature is wounded, enraged, and flailing wildly. In its death throes, it lashes out. Its massive body hits the unstable rock slab, finally sending the tons of stone crashing down with a deafening boom. Silence. The tremors are gone. The dust slowly begins to settle. Cale, bleeding and exhausted, pulls himself up. He looks at the rubble, a monument to a battle won by wit, not brute force. He finds Tor, who is silent, clutching his own small stone knife, eyes wide with terror and pride. This moment isn't just survival. It's a turning point in human history. It's the moment when Homo erectus proved that the ability to imagine a solution, to use the environment as a weapon, was the ultimate evolutionary advantage. The worm was massive, powerful, and terrifying, but it was predictable. Cale was not. He took its strength, its very hunting method, and used it to destroy the beast. They don't linger. They gather the tools, take a moment of terrified silence for the immense creature, and start the long, weary journey back to the tribe. The story they carry back won't just be a tale of a monster. It'll be a legend about human ingenuity, a story that will be passed down for 1,000,000 years. The life of prehistoric man was a constant war against extinction. The giant mutant worm was a fictional terror, but the principles of Kale's fight, courage, adaptation, and the clever use of rudimentary technology are the real-life foundations of our own world. We survived not by being the fastest or the strongest, but by being the smartest problem solvers on the planet. Every time we face a new problem today, from complex scientific challenges to a simple flat tire, we are channeling the same inventive spirit that saved Kale from that enormous subterranean monster. The battles were real, the stakes were absolute, and the legacy is us. If you were absolutely gripped by Kale's story and the terrifying reality of life 1,000,000 years ago, smash that like button. We have so many more epic tales of ancient survival and human evolution to share with you. To make sure you never miss a deep dive into the primal past, hit subscribe and ring that notification bell. You've been watching First Flame. We'll see you in the next epic.